Let's take a look at our order picker. This is a new offering for us to complement our warehouse products. This particular truck comes as a 3,000 pound capacity and is 24 volt. This truck, the mast lifts from 210 to 330. And this truck is also, like the rest of our electronic products, ran off Curtis controllers, which we all know is probably one of the most well-known controller systems in the market today. So we're going to walk around this truck a little bit. I'm going to point out some of the features and benefits to customers for using the Doosan order picker. So looking at the front of the order picker here, you can see how wide a view the operator has through the mast. That's really important because these trucks are actually used in very narrow aisle situations, right? They go down through the aisles, lift up to different beam levels, and you load product. The operator rides up with it. But to be able to drive through the aisle, it's very important that the operator can see forward driving down the aisle. One of the things you'll notice is the nice rounded and sloped hood. That helps the operator get as much visibility close to the truck as possible. So this mast is all Doosan manufactured, again from 210 to 330. The other thing is, as far as maintenance, very easy to work on. When you lift up the hood, it has a micro switch, so the truck cannot operate when the hood is not in the closed position. For obvious reasons, you wouldn't want to do that because you wouldn't be able to see very well. Front doors open up, you have your drive motors, your Curtis controllers, and all your hydraulic systems are built right in here, confined into this nice steel frame and steel doors. It also has standard a hydraulic accumulator in the hydraulic system, and that's really important because the operator, like I say, does ride on this truck. So that accumulator actually acts as a shock absorber in the hydraulic system. So when the operator lifts up, it's not a solid stop or jolt when you take off or stop. That accumulator gives some cushion in the hydraulics to give the operator a more comfortable ride and definitely a more secure feeling when they're up on the platform. Before we look at the operator compartment itself, I wanted to point out the load wheel system that we have on the outriggers. And what I wanted to point out was it's dual load wheels, which is great. It helps distribute the weight that the truck is holding throughout the dual load wheels so that they last longer. But if you notice, you can see this triangle piece, and it's mounted in such a way that the load wheels pivot in the middle. So if there's an uneven surface, the load wheels always ride on the surface. They'll follow the contour, so you always have full contact to the floor with both load wheels on each side, on each outrigger. Now we'll talk a little bit about where the operator spends his day and where he works. So one of the things you'll notice, especially if you already use order picker products, the large operator compartment. This platform is one of the largest platforms in the industry, and it has a very, very thick rubber mat. You can see the rubber mat here with foam underneath. Gives the operator a nice soft feeling, but it's firm enough that he feels stable, but soft enough where it relieves the fatigue in the operator's legs if they're standing on it for long periods of time during the day. So huge operator compartment. We have safety gates that need to be down for the truck to operate, and you'll see it has a pallet clamp, because what will happen is you'll put a pallet on this on the forks here, and then it clamps to the center runner on the pallet so that it can't fall off. And then, of course, to release it, you just step on the pedal and it releases the pallet so that you can drive out from underneath the pallet after the load has been built. As far as the control handles, we have our steering tiller here Very comfortable steering knob, nice feeling, nice tactical feedback, so you can feel the steering while it's happening. And one of the neat features that I like is the control handle. So this controls both lift and lower, as well as travel forward and back. So your thumb switch here is your lift and your lower. You just use your thumb to do that, and then you just rotate this lever forward or back to travel in either direction. But one thing that you notice here is that is not level. It's actually on an 8-degree angle, which is more comfortable. You know, if you hold your hand like this, if you just stick your hand out, you'll notice that it's more comfortable to hold your wrist in a slightly tilted position than it is flat. So, I mean, it's just simple things that we think about. You know, we want the operator to be comfortable, we want him to be safe, and we want to keep the cost of ownership low on our products. So it's one of the things that Doosan thinks about a lot. So again, you look through the Mast from this angle here, very wide open, and even the area between the front cage and the sides of the windows, you can easily look down on the outside of the mast rails to see if you need to see there too. So we have the same display that we use on all of the electric trucks that we sell. So turn on the key. Again, I'm not harnessed in. You would clip here to harness in, but we have LED lights. I want to show you how bright these LED lights are. So very bright LED lights. You have 2 on each side that shine down on the platform. When operators get up into the racking, it can get dim up there for lighting, so it's important for them to be able to see. And then you have 8 rack height selects. So this truck comes standard with rack height select, and so that gives you 8 different beam levels that you can set up, and it's really neat. So when if you set up 4 beam levels, what happens is I'll hit, well, you got to stand on the presence pedal, you raise up, and then when the truck gets to the first beam level, it stops right there. And then to go to the second beam level, you simply release and raise again. It goes to the next beam level and stops automatically. And then if you want to go to the third, release, go again. So it stops in stages on the way up. Very, very handy, and helps make your operators more efficient to be able to stop right at the beam levels that they want for their racking system. I don't know if you noticed when I lowered this truck how it had special cushioning designed into the truck. So that last 8 inches, 12 inches, when you're lowering down, it comes down quicker, and then it gets down to where it's going to stop. It just slows down and cushions, so not to jar the operator. Okay, we're getting a closer look at the display here, the information display. You can see the parking brake. This has the electromagnetic parking brake, so it sets automatically. You have your speed, your hours, and right now it's giving you a display that says side gate switch open. That's because I'm standing off to the side and I have the side gate open right now. But if you have looked at any of our other electric products, you probably recognize this display because it's identical to those other trucks. You have your ESH function, which is economy, standard, and high performance mode. And you can see it's in high performance right now. If I press the button, it goes to economy. So predetermined slow speed, slow lift, slow travel, a little bit faster travel in hydraulics, and the fastest predetermined hydraulic speed and travel speed. All of that stuff is adjustable through the dash, so you can customize whichever settings you like to use the truck in. You can also customize those so the truck operates safely to your operation. Okay, so up here is the steering. So what that's doing is telling you which way your steer angle is facing. So right now it's pointing straight up, which is telling the operator that my wheel is facing forward, and if I travel forward or reverse, it's going to go straight forward or back. If I step on the presence pedal and I turn the steering to the right, you can see it move around to the right. You can see it move around to the left. And here's a really nice safety feature. So if the operator needs to know where he's pointing, he can look without getting off the truck. The other thing is, every time you cycle this key, so if you see I left it pointing, the wheel is pointing 90 degrees to the left. If I turn off the key and cycle the key, I turn it on, it's got to go through its safety check, and then when you step on the presence pedal, see it shows that it's pointing straight up, but it doesn't know yet until you press on the presence pedal, and then watch. See, it just turned it to the right. That's why you've seen it going to the right, because I had it all the way 90 degrees to the left. It turned to the right and stopped at center. So every time you cycle the key, this truck will always start from the center position or the straightforward position, helping your operators to be safe. The last thing I really want to talk to you about this exciting new product is some of the things we do in the Mast and how we raise the platform. The Mast is also, like I say, it's built all Doosan, but the mast rails are all stacked together in C channels, right? One around the other. And what we've done is you have the mast rollers there to help keep that rolling tight, but there's also at the top of the mast, there's wear strips that guide the mast between the stages. And of course, what that's doing is tightening up that tolerance, right? So that when you're at height, there's no play in the mast whatsoever, so that the operator, when he's moving around on the platform, it doesn't feel like the truck's shaking back and forth. It minimizes that very much. And lastly, one of the simple things to do, you know, that's Doosan. We're sophisticated, but we like to keep things simple to keep operators safe. And this truck actually has a sensor on the chain anchors that raise the platform. So if an operator were to be lowering this platform and the pallet or the platform got hung up on the racking or something, and it created slack in the chain, the truck recognizes that and shuts down. It won't let the truck lower anymore. Because obviously, if you were to lower your platform on the corner on the side of the rack, and it could not stop itself, the truck could tip over, obviously. I hope you like what you see with this order picker. We're very excited about getting this out in the market, and we hope that you would want to get a hold of one of our dealers and see one as soon as possible. Thank you very much.